On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks. Are you buying or selling the Josh Green hype train? Are you buying or selling that JaVale McGee or Joel is going to be a huge upgrade at center? There's a whole bunch of stuff we're going to buy or sell on today's Locked On Mavs. Let's go.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
Hey, Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good!
And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Where the best way you can help us grow the show is to comment anything below. Let us know. Are you buying the Josh Green hype? You can define hype however you'd like. You can define it. Are you buying the Josh Green hype? Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates to help you talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. And joining me, as always, my co-host, contributor, writer at Mavs.com, the fan jam juror, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
I don't know if I'm the right one to ask about Fan Jam, but you know how big of a fan I am of Fan Jam.
It is legitimately Isaac's favorite event all year.
It's not, but it's really cool to see. My biggest takeaway from Fan Jam was the gray court, and I thought it looked awesome. I thought it just looked immaculate. I love the touch of the championship 2011 roster being in gold. But the gray tint on the court, just to see that was cool. Thanks for the people who reached out about me being sick. Shout out. The last pod that I was on, I literally was talking about at the beginning. I was like, yeah, I don't got anything for you, Nick, because my kids are sick. My wife was sick. I'm just trying not to get sick.
And it came for you. It came for you. There was like a bunch of.
I lost 6 pounds in 24 hours just by throwing up.
Well, there you go. That was a goal.
At least there's a positive.
I was telling people, anybody that came up to me at Fan Jam, thanks to everybody that reached out and came up to me. I think I met like 15 people, which is pretty awesome. A couple of them came up to me and was like, "Where's Isaac?" And I was like, "Oh, he's sick at home." Isaac texted me a picture of his son, like Jimmy Butler in the bubble, leaned over the toilet, like just exhausted, like just like totally out of it because of how sick they were over the weekend. I told somebody, and I think it was my mom, and my mom's like, "Make sure they're getting enough fluids." I was like, "That's just such a mom thing."
You can't even keep fluids down though. I'd like drink half a water bottle and then I'm like throwing it up later. I do want to plug something real quick. Coming up on Wednesday is the Mavs' first preseason game.
Oh, let's go.
And your boy here is going to be on an alternate broadcast on Mavs.com. Myself, Bobby Caralla, and Dana Larson. We're going to be
professional
3-way tag team in this thing. It's not even a tag team, I guess, if that's not the thing. But on Mavs.com. And so anyway, if you want to watch the preseason game with us, I'll be rocking on that alternate broadcast on Mavs.com.
Yeah, there you go. You can hear Isaac there. Today, we are going to get into some buy or sell moments for the Mavericks because there's some hype. It's been fun. The training camp, I did a video on the Mavs live stream training camp that was on at the NBA app, which was awesome. You can go and actually watch that whole thing on YouTube right now. I would recommend it. There's been Media Day where we had all our interviews. You can go watch all of our interviews that we've had on our YouTube channel. There's been Fan Jam now with a live practice people were able to watch. Like there's some hype right now. It's been fun to watch this Dallas Mavericks team. And there are some things to buy or sell about this Mavericks team right now because it's the beginning of the season and we all talk ourselves into stuff at the beginning of the season for sure. So Isaac Harris, load up the first buy or sell. What are we buying or selling first?
I mean, we just got to fully lean into it. All right. Right now.
I'm ready.
And just have the discussion. Because the Josh Green propaganda started trickling out throughout the summer. Okay. Because one, this isn't his first summer working at Impact in Vegas with Kyle Lowry.
No.
Like this has been a thing.
Yeah.
Jared Dudley was working out with him in Vegas back last summer before he joined the coaching staff.
Right.
Working out with Kyle Lowry, Josh Green, those guys in Vegas. So he continued again. That became like a big story. Like, I worked out the Impact, Kyle Lowry. I'm like, yeah, that's been like a thing for him. But you started hearing little tricklings about, hey, looks good, lost some weight, shots looking more confident, fluid, more, he's more confident on the floor, not just his shot and everything. I think it was Nico Harrison on the broadcast for on the Mavs.com broadcast for Fan Jam, who said Michael Finley coined him the MVP of the summer as far as Josh Green. Then
Jared Dudley after Fan Jam said he's just been night and day different. Like he's been incredibly different during training camp than he was even last year.
Yeah, and then you go back a few days or a day before that, NBA.com's live practice, the real training camp, which is awesome. One of the best things they've ever done.
I want to do one every day.
I will watch any team. Take that back. Not the Lakers, but any team out there, I will watch that of. But I mean, they're literally on there. Brendan Haywood, UNC legend. He was a steal. On there, literally talking about how we're just watching Josh Green. Like, it's Josh Green's world, and we're just living in it. I mean, we watched the live practice there of everybody did. Him draining threes and everything. And this is what everybody's talking about is if you're in the Mavs world. I don't think much people outside.
Nobody else is talking about this but us.
Sorry, I'm laughing about it. But shout out to the guy that was, I forgot who was with Brendan Haywood on the NBA.com thing, who said, hey, man, maybe we should be picking up Josh Green in fantasy this year. I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
It's like, all right. So here's the thing.
Where are you at? Are you buying that you should be picking up Josh Green in fantasy basketball this year? Or are you just selling the hype? Where are you at on the train? Like, where are you on the train? What cart are you in if you are?
I'm on the train. I don't know if I'm driving the train, but let's calibrate the hype. What is the hype about? Because I think all things Mavs, our friend Jimmy on Twitter has been like really big on Josh Green this offseason, like really excited for him. And he said, who's on the hype train? And so I just tweeted at him and said, what does the hype train mean? And so for him, who's like a big Mavs fan, like big in the Mavs fan like arena, he said that he's going to be, a solid rotation piece this year, that he'll go from what he was last year, 15 minutes a game, but a lot of time playing in garbage time and not getting a ton of opportunity, to a solid rotation piece that can spell Dorian and Reggie Bullock in moments when the Mavericks desperately need him to, or that he can, eventually like be a spot starter at times during the season. Like that's the hype. And I said, okay, well, if that's hype, then I think I'm behind that hype. I think I'm behind that. I think I could see him after the first 2 years that he had, where year one, he's playing for Carlisle, shortened off season, weird thing, he's coming into the NBA. And so he didn't really get a full run for a team that actually wanted to be good. And then second year, he's playing under a new coach in Jason Kidd, a new front office that didn't draft him. And he's trying to figure out how to play with this brand new style of team. So it just went from one to the other. And now he's had a real offseason, a full training camp. He worked out all offseason with, like you said, an impact with Kyle Lowry, and he worked out with Jared Dudley before and all that. So he's had a couple summers to just really work on his game, which we knew he was going to have to do anyway, right? We knew coming in, he was a one-year player at Arizona. We knew that he was like a kind of like a what is it? He's like a high ceiling kind of guy, or at least he's going to be a developmental type guy. Maybe that's the way to put it. So we knew he was going to take a couple years to develop because the Mavericks were taking him at a little earlier than maybe he should have gotten drafted. He wasn't going to be a day one impact player, and so he comes in, and now I think I'm ready. It's been a couple years. This is year 3 for him. And I'm ready for him to just like be the ninth man. Be like, all right, the Mavs have a solid 10-player rotation, and Josh Green is one of those players.
Yeah, let's take a break and come back because you are higher on Josh Green than I am. And I also
just by what I said.
Yeah, and I do want to defend my take because I feel like I am in the minority right now, that I'm not ready to jump at that Josh Green's going to be an all-star.
Oh, that's not even what I said, though.
I know, but I need to see more. But let's take a break and let me talk about it a little bit.
But before we do that, let me tell you about LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like high stakes. It can feel like, all right, I'm a player going into my 3rd year. I really need to play well this year. I'm from Australia. I played at Arizona, and I just really need this job to work. Every single job posting can feel like that. if you're a small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. That's LinkedIn Jobs, the LinkedIn, like the social networking site, and you can check it out now. Oh, he's pointing. Isaac's pointing. I thought you were saying you wanted to talk. He's pointing at the. Yeah, we have new banner ads. He's pointing to that. I thought you wanted to say something. Go check out LinkedIn Jobs. It's super easy. I've used this in a job search. My wife is using this in a job search right now. You use LinkedIn. They have tons of jobs on there, and you don't think about it. You just think about it as like a networking tool, but networking gets you to jobs, and LinkedIn Jobs helps you do that. They help you find the qualified candidates that get you to talk to them faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, Isaac Harris, we're continuing our buy or sell, and right now we're trying to figure out what we're buying or selling with Josh Green, because the hype train is, at least from fans, seems to be, can he be a solid rotation player? Which seems really inconsequential, right? You're like, well, a guy could be a solid rotation player, that's fine. But think about what it would mean for the Mavericks, for Josh Green to be a solid rotation player. Right now, their identity is so wrapped up in what the Bang Bros, Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock, can bring to this team that they're starting. That wasn't the case at the beginning of last season. That wasn't the case at a certain point in the season last season. But as soon as Jason Kidd and the coaching staff figured it out, they started those guys, and those guys were the two highest minute getters for the Mavericks in the playoffs, and were some of the two highest minute getters in the entire playoffs, because those two guys are so much what the Mavericks want to be able to take care of your own business on defense. And if Josh Green can be that, which we think he could be if he ends up being a rotation player, he would be a solid defender that can defend quicker guards, that can actually defend some wings as well, because he's a little bit stronger than most of the guards his size. He could eventually shoot the three. He's going to get some rebounds. I think he's one of the best offensive rebounders on the Mavericks. You always see him get at least one offensive rebound a game that makes you go, oh dang, look at that. He's a great passer and ball mover too. So he's going to bring these different things, but can he bring it at that level that allows the Mavericks to extend their rotation, to limit Dorian and Reggie Bullock, because they were gassed by the end of the playoffs, and they need them to be able to be spelled at least a little bit if the Mavericks want to be as good as they hope to be.
You laid out the reason why they need it to work, and why, if it does work, the role is there. We can't have Reggie Bullock playing 47 and a half minutes in a playoff game. All right. So, and only having 30 seconds of rest. So, he gives you that. He can theoretically guard the opposing team point guard off the bench, something like that. I do think there were people that were a little bit higher on his perimeter defense than I was. I thought he was a little heavy footed at times and wasn't as agile on the perimeter, I guess, for what you would expect for a super athletic guy like him. And a lot of it comes down to a shot. And it's just, do you believe in the shot? He looks more confident in it in the live practice, wherever you want to.
He made a couple in Fan Jam. He made a couple in the scrimmage during the Mavs live practice on NBA.
Big takeaways from the practices. I just want to see more, and it's just what kind of role are we looking at? Because we have the starters, and then you look at the first three guys off the bench. We know Christian Wood's going to play. We know Tim Hardaway's going to play. Yep. We know Maxi Kleber's going to play. So we're already looking at eight guys right there. So could he jump from a 15-minute game guy to 18 or 19 minutes? I don't know. Can he does everything well, like you said, he passes, rebounds, all of that, but will his shot be consistent enough? And I'm just not as confident in it right now. I feel like I'm okay to be I'm not on the train yet. I'm sorry. The dribbling in circles with Rudy Gobert, just staring at him, and it's all right, kid, when are you going to pass the ball? Just waiting for you to do something. That is ingrained into my memory. Can he play within a system and play it well, instead of what I always said it felt like was he was the high school running back that you just unleashed on the floor and just said, go out and do crap. Right. All right. And you're going to go 100 miles an hour, but you're going to make bad choices, but you're going to make a really cool pass. And we're going to be whoa, cool pass. You can pass, bro. But then you're going to break a shot. Can he be contained to where he can fit into a winning style? I'm not as confident right now. I just got to see it. I got to see it in NBA games beyond preseason. I got to see it regular season games. How much do they trust him? Can he handle the ball a little bit? I got to see it before I'm like on any type of hype train.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it because I'm buying what the coaching staff is saying, because I think we've seen this coaching staff to not hype up when it's not there to hype up, right? And I think in Jared Dudley saying that
what's the downfall of hyping it up? Even if you don't believe that he's going to be on this team
of me
by the deadline. No, them. Isn't this is what you want, right? Like they believe it because he looks better. But like if you want to up somebody's value, then
they're not doing this with Christian. They're not doing this with Christian Wood.
This Christian no. Sorry.
They're not doing this with Christian Wood right now. And maybe they're just giving him, like, they're just trying to give him some more confidence, which is what he
Christian
needs.
Wood has more of a track record, though. I mean, Christian Wood has averaged 20 and 10 in a season. So, like, you've seen Christian Wood play really good basketball. You've seen tiny, tiny spurts of Josh Green play good basketball to where, like, Bob Vargas is like, see, I told you. And so, like, that's what I just need to see more of it. I'm not there yet. I thought I've seen enough. I'm willing to leave the door open a little bit. I want to be wrong about it. I
want you to be wrong about this.
Please, for the sake of the Mavs, I want to be wrong because he could be a vital piece to this team. And especially like it's at decision time for him. Like, we're already a couple years into this. Like they got to decide on what his future looks like, after the season, trying to figure out guaranteed money. The year after that's like, we're looking at, an offer, restricted, all this different stuff. So like, they got to figure it out this year.
This was much longer on Josh Green than I expected today. What else do we want to buy or sell?
Well, I mean, he's the hotter topic right now. We're going to talk about different things throughout the week, so we can save a couple of these for later on. But let's just go ahead and talk about Jaden Hardy. Like, if we're talking about two guys that's dominating the conversation coming out of Fan Jam, the NBA training camp thing that Mavs fans are really excited about right now, and it's Jaden Hardy.
Yeah.
Is this kid's personality not the most infectious, most fun? Like you see the kid smile and laugh, and you just like smile and laugh. You just love it. The Sham God, Euro step,
amazing,
embarrass Maxey, left like amazing. I mean, I was getting hyped. Like, let's go, Jaden Hardy. Where are you at? Let me just say a line, and you tell me if you buy this line or not. Jaden Hardy will be in the regular rotation by the end of the year. Do you buy or sell?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to put this picture of Jaden Hardy up real quick because it's maybe my favorite picture from anything we did at training camp.
Let me drink my organic apple juice real quick.
Look at this picture of Jaden Hardy. Just the infectious personality of Jaden Hardy.
Wow, it looks really cool.
The Hardy face. I'm selling it. I'm
selling downer, you.
I'm selling it as an actual basketball, like if I'm looking at actual basketball analysis, because
why do you hate him?
He's got so much talent, but it's gonna take him a little bit to harness that. It's gonna take the coaching staff. He's been working with Sham God. I talked about this, I think, on Friday and maybe on Saturday. It's the thing that I've been calling for. If this coaching staff does one thing this year, have Sham God work with Jaden Hardy every single day, because that's what he needs so badly. And we've already seen it. We've already seen him pull off the Sham God in NBA training camp when they posted it live. That was amazing. And his personality is super infectious, all that stuff. Like, you want to root for him. There's no way you could root against this kid right now. But I think it's going to take him a little bit longer. And the other part of this is, what did Nico Harrison tell us at Media Day? We're already doing the thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're already doing the thing where we bring out the Media Day interviews again. What did he tell us about the other ball handler? We still have an open roster spot, right? I think they make a move during the year and bring in another person, because they need somebody in a playoff setting. And I don't know that Jaden Hardy is going to be prepared enough to be able to be that guy in a playoff setting. But coming up, is Isaac buying Jaden Hardy? Are we buying Jaden Hardy? And what does buying Jaden Hardy mean? Like, what would his path be to get to a rotation spot by the end of the season? We'll talk about that coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about BetOnline. It's the best place to check out the odds and lines inside and outside of sports. You can see right now Oh, I hope you put money on the Buffalo Bills this weekend.
You suck. Continue on.
They have NBA odds already for preseason. If you're putting money on preseason odds, I'm not sure.
You put them on the 36ers?
Yeah, I hope you put them on the Adelaide 36ers over the Phoenix Suns. Oh, by the way, the last time I talked about BetOnline odds, the Clippers were favored over the Maccabi team by like 40 points. And I was like, they're favored by 30 points. And I was like, 30 points is a lot to be favored by. And they beat them by 40.
Wow.
But if you put money on the Suns, then you're thinking bad. Game 1 of the regular season, Dallas Mavericks against the Suns. Suns are at home. Suns are in shambles right now. Isaac, what do you think the spread is?
Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this one, but I'll say Suns 3.5.
Suns by 6.
I'm taking Mavs money on that.
Take the Mavs on that one. Take the Mavs all the way up to the money ball. So go check it out. It's BetOnline where the game starts. All right, Isaac Harris, we're continuing to talk about buy or sell. We've been talking about Josh Green a lot. He's a big topic coming out of training camp. He's been looking good. But Jaden Hardy is the other one where he's had some pretty good days too. He's stacked some pretty good days. He had 18 points in the Mavs fan jam.
Stop it right now. You're not quoting a box. Oh my God.
And it was about the shots that he made. He seemed to have some pretty good chemistry with Christian Wood. He had a couple of really good playmaking plays with him. And you just wonder, can he be part of a rotation by the end of the season? Are you buying or selling that?
I'm gonna sell it. So I was just having fun with.
You're a hater too. You're a hater too.
I'm not a hater. It's the fact that a lot of the reasons you gave that this team wants to win a title this year.
Right. Right.
And I hate to say it this way, but like if Jaden Hardy is one of the top like 8 minutes per game guys on this team, then that means Luka probably got hurt and we're looking at like the lottery. Because it's just you don't see rookies, let alone second round picks in the main rotation of a 50+ win team that wants to go deep into the playoffs, let alone be like a backup point guard handling the ball a lot.
Right.
So that's just, and we're not even talking about like, that has nothing to do with even his name, like and him as a player. We're just talking about that role and
that anybody has done. Nobody.
Yeah. So like now look at him as a player that he still has a lot of work to do. He's a lot of fun. And that I'm going into this season, I have zero expectations for Jaden Hardy. Like I'm indifferent with him. There's players I'm higher on this season, like a Spencer Dinwiddie, JaVale McGee, really high on those two. There's the guys I'm a little lower on. And on the Mavs, Jaden Hardy is a guy I'm like indifferent about because it's going to take time. Like they have preached that before, like, hey, it's going to take some time. We got to get him into the NBA world. He's going to be fun. He's going to make mistakes, but he's going to be a heck of a victory cigar. Right. So he's going to be playing in these blowout theaters, these blowout 20-point games in the fourth quarter. He's going to be putting up some points, having some highlights. He's going to learn what it's like to be a pro, but I'm not expecting him because I'm expecting this Mavericks team to be a top 4, top 5 team in the Western Conference. Therefore, I'm not expecting Jaden Hardy to be the backup point guard or to be an 8th or 9th man in this rotation.
Here's a couple of rookies that have had some decent run with playoff success over the last couple of years. Okay. That are guards like Jaden Hardy. Tyler Hero went to the finals with the Heat and he played 33 minutes a game. That's like the best example of this.
Yeah, and that was he was what? Lottery pick? Top 20 pick?
Yeah, and he was in the bubble. Kendrick Nunn played 16 minutes a game for the Heat and in their run in the bubble as well, but he only played in 15 games. That's a pretty decent one as well. Tyrese Maxey played for the Sixers, not this past year, but the year before when he was a rookie. He played 13 minutes a game. That to me is, I think, like if everything works out well for Jaden Hardy, I could see that kind of that Tyrese Maxey type of role for him at a certain point, but everything would have to go right at that point. There's not many examples though. There's other examples of like Herb Jones and Bam Adebayo, it's like those kind of examples. But there's not a ton of examples of a team that won a couple of rounds that had a rookie playing a ton of minutes like that. But it's not impossible. I would love to see it.
But
I would love to see it be Jaden Hardy. Oh my gosh, that would be the best.
But like, look at a guy like Bones Highland. Like, I don't have his stuff pulled up in front of me, and obviously, I haven't watched every bit of Bones Highland's career in Denver. But like, it feels like when he started off as a rookie, that it was like, hey, we still have Monty Morris. We're gonna play. He's gonna have some fun moments. Bones had some fun moments, and like, kind of show us who you are. Let's see what. Oh, okay. Let's see what you could potentially be in the rotation moving forward. And then look what happened this offseason. They traded Monty Morris. He was in a deal. They brought back another piece. And what are they giving Bones Highland? A bigger role. It looks like he's going to be like their main backup point guard. They didn't bring back Campazzo. So like, that's the type of like shift a little bit for Hardy. If he's going to be like a point guard type, I still think I point to Jordan Poole as like his like role one day, but I just think it's going to be a year or two before we're looking at that.
And in every example that we've seen the Mavericks play Jaden Hardy in summer league, in training camp, in scrimmages, he's been playing off the ball. He has not been like the main ball handler, point guard type player.
Yeah. Is he going to be I've been brainstorming some ideas of some pods before the season started, but of like some superlatives or like whatever. Is he going to be our Moses Brown this year for fans?
Did they keep calling for
why
it?
Why didn't they play Jaden Hardy tonight? Why didn't we not? And any loss, it's because we didn't play Hardy, or
I might be one of those fans this year. I'm excited to do that. I'm going to put the Hardy face back up again.
I have enjoyed.
How can you root against this guy?
You can't root against it. I have enjoyed some of Clippers Twitter talking themselves into Moses Brown.
Oh, it's gonna Moses Brown is like it's gonna happen every single. I understand it. We did.
I love it.
We talked ourselves in. By the way, Bones Highland was 7th in the Nuggets in minutes last year in the playoffs.
Ooh.
But he was a 26th pick in the draft, so he was a rookie. But
to be fair with that was Jamal Murray.
They were without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., so he would have been like 9th or 10th.
It's like they had to play him, kind of.
Right. True.
And kind of going back to what you were saying too, I still think their backup ball handler is not on the team. I still think they make a trade at some point.
Right.
And I think they do it sooner rather than later. But I don't think that person's on the team.
Let's do the last one real quick because I like the JaVale one.
Oh snap! I could go all day on JaVale, but do you buy that the upgrade from Dwight Powell to JaVale McGee is
to who?
JaVale.
Poor Luka.
I love that.
Do you buy that that's that big of an upgrade?
Yes.
I do.
I know you do. I'm buying it. It's an upgrade solely because of his size. Like just seeing him at Fan Jam, like just seeing him in person at media day, like we literally shake his hand, like just seeing the size of this guy and the difference, what he's gonna be able to do with the tip outs, like the tip outs, the rebounds, the even just the opening tip of the game. Like the Mavericks are going to win more of those because he's so much bigger and longer. Like that's such a big upgrade, I think. Plus the fact that I made this point the other day. Plus the fact that they still have Dwight Powell. Like what if Luka and JaVale aren't as good of a pick and roll threat as we really want them to be? They don't get synced as well. The Mavs still have that in their back pocket to go to if they bring out Dwight. They can still put Dwight out there, and Luka and him, we know, are going to be good. They were good in the regular season last year. Like, Dwight was really good in the regular season last year, so they still have that option to go to at a certain point. But I think JaVale McGee is going to be better because I think that he adds so much more just by sheer size, but also by his ability to block shots and all that stuff.
I'm predicting it right now. There's going to be a Zach Lowe podcast.
Oh,
like 2 months into the season. And they're gonna be randomly talking about the Mavs, and he's gonna drop some type of line saying, what one of the most underrated moves of the whole offseason is the Mavericks signing JaVale McGee. And he's gonna go on this whole big thing about the upgrading Dwight to a bigger guy like JaVale with experience, and that he can protect the rim and all that stuff. Like, it's going to be a thing. I think it's gonna be a national thing to where.
Can I do a Zach Lowe real quick?
Oh, go for it.
One of the things of the offseason has just been JaVale McGee. Just his hands. You look at his hands and you're like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, how am I supposed to get the ball away from this guy who grabs it around the rim when Luka just throws it right at him, like exactly where he needs to. This pinpoint pass from Luka that's exactly right on the money. Like, JaVale McGee has been awesome.
Well, partner, try being in the locker room with him. There's your Zach Lowe Timming man for you, right?
I love that. I love that drop so much.
I just think it's going to be a big upgrade, and he's not going to play 30 minutes a night.
No,
but I think Mavs fans are going to look at it. We're going to watch it and be like, holy crap. Like,
what have we been playing without this whole?
Exactly. Like, we've seen how good Luka has made Dwight Powell, and Dwight is a good basketball player, but it's like, I was trying to find the most like good, great human being too. It's just, I was trying to think of the most like respectful way to say it, of like, Luka can make centers look really good, and like, we're gonna see like an upgrade of that with JaVale McGee, and we're gonna be like, holy crap, like this could be so much better than that. So I'm just really high on what JaVale brings to this team.
Oh my gosh, that made me cry. That was so funny. Dwight is just a good basketball player.
I'm just really high on it, and I think it is that big of a deal.
I need to clip that so bad. Bates, clip that and send it to Isaac. Bates, clip it and send it every time Isaac ever tweets about Dwight Powell. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Let us know in the comment section. Are you buying the hype on Josh Green? Are you buying or selling Jaden Hardy being part of the rotation by the end of the year? Are you buying or selling that JaVale McGee is going to be that big of an upgrade over Dwight Powell? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow. Guys, Wednesday, the Mavericks play a preseason game. We'll have post games after every preseason game. We'll have post games after every regular season game this year. If you know us, you know that we've done every single post game and 5 days a week. So even the weekend games, we will be on. Guys, thanks so much for making us your first listen. Now go make your second listen. Locked On Fantasy Basketball, the GOAT, the legit GOAT of fantasy basketball. He is we're right there with him with numbers sometimes, and he just then he just turns on the Jets. He's an incredible talent. I love Josh Lloyd. Go check him out on Locked On Fantasy. Get all your fantasy info. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.